Good morning, traders. Happy Monday. What's going on, everyone? Good morning, Paul. Good morning, G-Man. Steve, hi, Mama. How's it going, you guys? Yet another day where I wish I lived in the UK. Man, my game plan has been working overnight. So this is what I drew up last night and shared in our Discord. Like, if we hold above these levels, I'm looking for longs. Look at that, like, on point. I'm not saying that I would have necessarily caught the bottom, but if you did, that would have been a 74-point trade. That's all right. Hindsight's always 20/20, right? So the play would still work out, actually, because that's London low right now. And as we all know, NQ likes to go grab liquidity. So it could come down and still retest that value area low, London low area, and bounce from there. So that would be cool. But we've also kind of been in a down-ish trend since overnight. So if it doesn't hold London low, I could see us going a lot lower. D-ish to 700, like kind of between here. This wick right here at 710. And then our London low at 750. To me, that's kind of a gray area. I wouldn't be super quick to take shorts. But if it holds above that, I would still be looking for longs. Maybe a liquidity grab, like I was saying. It was a great move that you missed. Yeah, I feel you, Steve. Especially when I draw it out. Like, if I was awake, I would have taken that. That's all right. Sometimes I feel like it might be a good idea to get good at creating limit orders overnight and just set a stop loss and a take profit and see if it works out. Because I have some friends that I trade with that they share their charts. And they're like, I woke up and I made $3,000 last night while I was sleeping, because they were doing that, setting orders. But I don't think I would sleep very well if I did that. I would probably be in a panic and wake up and check my charts all the time, and that would just be a mess. I wouldn't sleep very well. Good morning, Shez. Shez, what days do you work? Do you have specific every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, or is it kind of random? I think you said you only work 3 days a week. Good morning, Mickey Man. Welcome. Yeah, I could set overnight orders and then just have a small stop loss. I think that would be the only way it would work. Is if I sized way down and I only risked $100 or something that would not bother me at all if I lost it, so that I could sleep. I think if it was a normal sized position, I would want to be up managing it. Oh, Maverick, enjoy your vacation. Enjoy your time off. Kids are asleep, so we'll see how long you get, huh? Not long, probably. As soon as they wake up, they're going to want breakfast, and they're going to need you. I know how that goes. All right, so we have the market opening here in 9 minutes. My thoughts are still going to trade with the same game plan that I posted last night. But if we do get a pullback at the open, stay above this value area low from Friday and maybe grab that London low liquidity and bounce, we could look for some long opportunities. Hopefully this thing doesn't just pump from in the open. Hopefully it gives us some sort of pullback. But if we drop below, like if we open super bearish and drop below and kind of retest these London lows, that would be the scenario that I'd be looking for shorts on. So either way, hoping for some sort of pullback. I don't really like trading all-time highs. We do have, this is the volume profile from the overnight session. We do have a point of control sitting up here. I lost it. It's going to recalculate here. But it was up here around like 24,840-ish. Yeah, Waffles said it. 36 people watching, 11 likes. What's up with that? Not a good risk to reward. I love it. For some reason, my volume profile was not calculating. Let's try that again. It's being slow. We are getting a decent move up here pre-market. All right, there's the fixed range volume profile starting from the session open last night. So point of control there, most of the trading volume last night was around 24,850-ish. We're also sitting right at VWAP, so this would be a decent spot to get a pullback. Yeah, sir, good morning. So one thing to keep in mind, you guys, it is Monday and there's not any news scheduled. So no news Mondays are typically choppy, not a whole lot of continuation. So watch out for that. I'm definitely planning on sizing down and trying to be patient with trades. And we have a lot of speakers scheduled. So a lot of times when there's Fed speakers, it's choppy, plus no news, all that. Just recipe for choppy day is kind of my thought, or what I'm at least preparing myself for mentally. If we get some volatility and we get some movement, heck yeah, I'm all for it. But just kind of preparing myself for some choppiness. For me personally, I typically like to find one good trade and hold it until it hits my TP, which is usually, I wouldn't say a home run trade, but I'm not a scalper. I don't go for like a 1-to-1 risk to reward or like 10 points and then I get out. I like to hold for bigger trades. So on days like where it might be choppy like today, I got to remind myself of taking profits when I see profits. Let's move our little squiggly lines over so we have room to see what the market brings us. Still holding right below VWAP. So it'll be interesting to see what happens on lines on the 15-minute. They look a little better on the 15-minute. When I zoom into the 2-minute, it's shaky. I can't draw straight. That's ugly. Good morning, Mad Moxie. How was everyone's weekend? Anyone do anything exciting? How, Mama, you laughing at my squiggly lines? I have a laptop that I use, and I'm not a fan of using a mouse. So I use my little like finger trackpad. So apparently it's not easy to draw straight lines on a finger trackpad. Hoping for some sort of liquidity grab in the open. We're coming up towards value area high and London high area, so that would be a decent spot for a pullback. Really, at this point, I'm looking for longs until proven otherwise. Coming down to 24,750 might be a good spot to enter, but we'll see. The Luna Festival. That sounds fun. Festivals like that are fun because, I mean, it could mean anything. It could just mean like booths with a bunch of small businesses, live music, maybe like a bounce house if it's a family-friendly thing, food trucks, snacks, just, yeah, that sounds like a good family day. For me, I'm in full-on soccer season, and I have 3 kids. One doesn't play soccer. The other 2 do, so they have 2 different teams. And the league that we're in is on different fields. Sometimes they travel. And it was picture weekend. So we had pictures and then soccer games and all over the place. So by the time we were done with that, we just came home and hung out, watched a movie together. All right, market's open, heading up towards London high, value area high area. I'm not interested in taking a long up here, although we did just cross over VWAP, which is cool. But I'd like to get a pullback first. And I'm not going to chase it. So far, it looks like it's taken a pause at that London high. Until it doesn't look like it. This thing's opening pretty strong. Well, the idea of looking for longs was right so far. Just gotta find a good entry. So I'm going to mark off the anchored VWAP right at the 8:30 Central Time candle. That's the one that I usually mark off light blue. So that's the New York anchored VWAP. And then I'll start marking off our 15-minute opening range. Maverick, are you trading today? Or are you just on vacation and watching? In despair, good morning. Yeah, it is a nice open. Definitely a strong open. I don't want to chase it though. That's my thought, Yasser. Gonna be patient, wait for a pullback, and hope that we get one. We're only 4 minutes into the open though, so there's still lots of opportunity left. Point of control, you can see this high volume node. There was lots of volume traded here. So far, it's breaking right through that though. I could see where it could potentially come up to this Asia high and get a little bit of a pullback. I don't know. I don't love the idea of shorting this thing though. I'd rather enter a long on a pullback. We'll see. You've been long for an hour. Awesome. Yeah, I was, before you hopped on in despair, I was talking about how I wish I was awake during the London session. That was a super clean bounce off of that value area low level. We're starting to get that pullback. Let's see how much it gives us. Gosh, you guys, I love volume profile. Look at that. This is, like I said, the volume profile from overnight. There's the point of control, lots of volume, high volume node. Rejecting that level pretty cleanly. Ah, there you go. You are in Europe, so it worked for you. Good morning, Nick. Good morning, Albert. So far, this is our 15-minute opening range high, but we still got lots of time left. So that line could move. In despair, you mentioned that you took some profits now. Are you holding the rest just for all-time highs? Or where do you have your take profit? That 5-minute opening candle is strong. Getting a pretty strong pullback here. Is it finding its chop levels for the morning session? Yeah, probably, Maverick. It's going to establish its high and low and then just chop and range in the middle, I'm guessing. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we get a trending day. But mentally, I'm preparing myself for the chop. No news today, lots of Fed speakers. So not sure if we'll get tons of volatility. The rest of the week should be good though. Lots of stuff coming up later this week. PMI tomorrow. Not much Wednesday, just crude oil, which doesn't affect NQ that much. Thursday, we have durable goods and jobless claims and home sales, so lots of stuff Thursday, and then quite a bit Friday too. PCE, consumer spending, and Michigan sentiment. So Thursday and Friday is going to be wild. All right, coming back down to our range low. The 15-minute range is not set yet. Some downside would be nice. Yeah, honestly, downside would be nice just because it's easier to trade. There's no like good levels to trade off when we're up here. I was putting together my trading plan last night. That's the video I released. I don't know if you guys watched that yet, but I used the visible range volume profile to mark off support and resistance. There's not really much support and definitely not any resistance up where we're at. So it's hard to find levels. There you go, in despair. Good stuff. Well, just kind of chopping in the middle right now. Our opening range, 15-minute opening range is set here in about 2 minutes. Let's see if it comes down to this range and holds and bounces. Possibly find a long, or if it's going to pull back further. Oh, good, Maverick. I'm glad you found it helpful. I've done a very similar video before, like 3 weeks ago. But there was something going on with my mic. I don't know if it was not plugged in all the way or something, but there was a really annoying like buzzing noise. And I noticed it as soon as I recorded it, but I was just annoyed. I was like, I just spent like 30 minutes recording this video. I'm going to post it. Like, take it or leave it. If you guys want to watch it, great. If not, I don't care. I was over it. So I decided to record it again yesterday. It needed to be redone. Still holding above VWAP for the day, the daily VWAP. But also still kind of chopping in the middle. It'd be nice if it went and like grabbed some liquidity or something. Got a little bit of movement. If any of you guys are sitting at your desk at work, just watch the charts. It'll put you to sleep. You might need to go grab some coffee so you don't get in trouble with your boss. This price action is going to make you sleepy. Oh, Maverick, you just couldn't stay away. At least it's only 1 micro, so you're not being too crazy. I love how you logged onto the stream. You're like, I'm on vacation. You made it seem like you're just watching, just dropping by to say hi. 12 minutes later, you're in a trade. This right here, that candle wick was a decent bounce off of VWAP right here. I probably would have entered long if it actually went to the bottom of the range and this like point of control level. It's just not really like clearly hitting any of those levels. Chopping in the middle. There you go, lock it up. I think that's the reason I love Project X so much. Like there's different glitches and I know it doesn't have all the indicators and stuff. Like some of the hardcore people say Project X is no good because they like Trade-Evate. They like their stuff. They're the things that they've used for 8 years. The tools that are in NinjaTrader and stuff. I get it. But the lockout feature, just so good. So I'm on the 2-minute chart, and you can see that we're not really going anywhere. What does the 5-minute look like? Wow, our opening range is set. What's our range? That looks tiny. 44 points? Am I on the ES chart on accident? What is this? 44 points for an NQ 15-minute opening range? Oh my goodness. All right, we're getting a little break outside of the range. Is this going to be continuation up, or are we getting a fake out and we're going to get a pullback? That is the question. Let's see how this candle closes. See if we're going to get some continuation outside of the range or if this thing's going to pull back. G-Man's back. Now we can take trades. Oh, looks like this thing's running up. What's going on? A whole lot of choppy nothingness. That's what's going on. We have like a 44-point 15-minute opening range. When I first measured it, I was like, what the heck? Am I on the ES chart? What is going on? What does ES look like? Similar choppiness. Gold's getting a little bit of movement. I had an alert set last night. I was going to try a trade on gold. I had an alert set down here at 37.18. Didn't quite get there. I was going to take a long if my alert hit. Nope. Kind of came close, but not quite. I was a little bit off. Can you copy trade Lucid with other accounts? Not like across prop firms, no. Unless you have a copy trader. If you have like TradeSync, TradeCopia, or Quant Tower or something like that, then yes. But not across prop firms. You can copy trade within Lucid. If you have like 5 Lucid accounts, you can copy trade. This thing is not continuing up. I'm trying to decide if it is going to pull back or if it's just choppy. And if I enter it short, it's just going to chop around. Yeah, Nick, 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, even the 1 minute, the 5 minute, everything is bullish. Yup. I'm entering a super small position long. Just on the 15-minute opening range breakout play, it did retest, and now it's getting some good confirmation that it's closing outside of the range. This is not my favorite trade setup, which is why I always am patient with it. So the 2-minute did close outside. I'm not going to risk too much on it. So entry was 867.5. That way, if this is going to be just a slow grind up to all-time high kind of day, I'll have at least a small position on it. If it gets up to this Asia high and starts to reject, I'll kill it early. Because I could see where that could be a possibility, where it grabs that liquidity and rejects. But so far, it looks like it's just going to be a slow grind up kind of day. I'll put my stop loss, give it a little bit of room to maybe fill that 5-minute fair value gap. So 847.5 is where I'll put my stop. Oh, you're on a flight. You got the internet on your flight. And you're watching me. What? Love it. Thanks for the support. Are you trading? Hopefully your internet speed is good if you're going to be trading on an airplane. That sounds like it could be a disaster, perhaps. There you go, in despair. Good stuff. Lock it up and go enjoy your day. MX Fafo, you're learning to miss out on trades that are not in your plan. Absolutely. Once you can learn that, you're in a good spot. One thing that helps me is writing out my trading plan and putting it like I have it on my desk in front of me, right here. And it's kind of just a checklist of like, is this actually one of my setups? Like, is this a failed auction, or is this one of my volume profile levels or something like that? Am I taking this trade because it's actually one of my setups? And I have my list in front of me so I can point and be like, yes, it's this setup. Or is it not one of my setups and I'm just taking it because I feel like I'm missing out on a trade? I have FOMO, or like, I think it's going up, or I think it's going down. It feels like it's going up. If it's not on my list, I don't take it. I'm not perfect with it, but having a list in front of me definitely helps. Coming back to that opening range high. Let's see if we bounce here. It did grab that Asia high and rejected. That's kind of what I was watching for, is if it grabbed that liquidity and had a strong rejection, then I would get out. So if it keeps going down, doesn't hold the opening range high, I'll probably kill it early. So far it's holding. Yeah, the volume sucks. That's what I was kind of prepping myself for today, with no news and lots of Fed speakers. That's why I took 3 contracts on this trade, and I only risked $121. My normal risk is $200. Because I'm not loving it. But it was also one of my setups, the 15-minute opening range breakout. And I stayed patient and waited for the confirmation, so... Yeah, I don't know what happened, Waffles. Like, overnight, everything just exploded. You know what's funny is my son, my 10-year-old, has always talked about, like, every time we ask him what he wants to be when he grows up, he wants to be a YouTuber. Like, you know, normal kids want to be like an astronaut or a police officer. He wants to be a YouTuber. So he's been watching my subscriber account this weekend, like, oh my gosh, Mom, you're famous. You're going viral. I never expected my 10-year-old to look up to me for that. Ah, it's funny. ES is going to grab Asia, and you think they're heading down, huh? Let's see what ES is doing. Where's the Asia high? Yeah, it did grab it, but I don't know. It's not like showing heavy selling pressure. Still kind of maintaining it. The way NQ rejected Asia high and then it bounced and it's continuing back above Asia high makes me feel like it's not going to be a liquidity grab pullback anymore. I mean, I could be wrong. It still could reject. But usually it's a pullback and like continuation when it's a liquidity grab. It doesn't bounce back up and make a new high, typically. Yeah. Yeah, sir. I was thinking the exact same thing. So I entered back here on this like 852 candle, and when it came down to the 15-minute opening range high again and bounced, I was thinking about adding. But yeah, same thing. Choppy, no news Monday, plus being at all-time highs. I decided not to. Didn't want to risk it on this trade. Of course, in hindsight, I'm like, well, dang, I should have added. Oh, well. I would have been mad at myself if the opposite happened. Now the hard part is like, where do I target? Should I go to 900 just because that's a round psychological number? Should I start drawing some fibs? Where is this thing headed? All right, we're coming up to all-time highs here. That's all-time high, yeah. 887. All right, Scott, have a good one. Maverick, that is trading, isn't it? Some days, I mean, I'd say most days you're rewarded for patience. But those annoying days where you're not rewarded for patience and like just market ordering in on some FOMO trade would have been the play for the day. Or like you said, you're patient and you don't take the C setup and you wait for the A plus setup and then it goes against you. Like, yeah, those are the days that are hard with trading. But those are the days that are make or break with trading, right? Those are the days that if you are going to be successful, then you walk away. Say, all right, today wasn't the day. Tomorrow's another opportunity. I'm not going to blow my account. Or it could turn into a spiral and you can blow your account. Those are the make or break days. Alrighty, well, I'm going to at least, I don't know, I'm deciding if I want to move to break even. I'll just leave it for now because I'm okay with that amount of risk. If it moves up to the previous day high and continues, then I'll definitely move to break even. All right, so we just wicked above all-time high. I've learned my lesson way too many times not to short all-time highs. So even though that's technically like a previous day high, liquidity grab type of trade, I ain't shorting it. What I am going to do is just move to break even. So if it does reject, I can at least get out at break even. Maverick, I don't think we necessarily need news to push to all-time highs. Like, the markets go up. I think the opposite is true. It's going to go up unless there's news that gives it a reason to go down. That's my experience. Doesn't really need a reason to go up necessarily. We do have initial balance set here in about 20 minutes, so we'll see if anything kind of looks like it's going to change at that point. Because that could establish our range for the day, and we could start getting a pullback from there after the first hour. But for now, no signs of it pulling back yet. It even wicked up to all-time high, and it's not rejecting from there. Oh, you're absolutely right, MXVAFO. No one knows what the market's going to do. Alrighty, stopped out at break even. Does look like it's pulling back from previous day high. Let's see where it goes. Could come back to VWAP and bounce. I know what the market's going to do, and I'll tell you, for a low price of 1 Bitcoin. We do have the New York anchored VWAP kind of making its way up towards this opening range high level. Let's see if it falls below that or if it holds. This is an interesting spot. Waffles, I know you said that you passed that Lucid eval, so you have a pro account. Are you trading that today? Hello from South Africa. Welcome. We are getting a bounce on that VWAP. I'm not convinced. Kind of looks to me like it wants to go down, but I could be wrong. Tuesday through Thursday for fundeds. That's smart. I feel like Mondays can be good when there's actually news. If there's not, then it's crappy like this. This is a weak bounce off of VWAP. I'm debating if I was to take a short, I would probably put my stop loss above that previous high. And there's lots of room down, even if it just came down to the range low. It's hard though when there's not a whole lot of movement and continuation either direction. Mr. Burke, yeah, I mean the trend is definitely up. That's why I haven't been quick to enter a short. It hasn't gotten in below any of those levels. It's still holding for now. "13 minutes until our initial balance is set." What do you guys got in the chat? Anyone taking any trades right now? This one would have been a good long right here. I probably should have just kept my stop loss on this original one in the same spot. If I didn't mess with it, I would have been green. We have Fed Muslim. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. He's talking right now. He's talking about how he's open to further rate cuts. And they're talking about the TikTok deal. I've never gotten on TikTok. I'm one of those old people that's like, what's TikTok? How do you use that? I just never have gotten into it. I'm not a huge fan of social media and stuff. But I don't know. I guess it's more than just another Facebook. I always just thought it was another like social media app. But if there's some sort of deal going on between China and the US, geez, what am I missing? Oh, Shez, you did short the top. You're braver than I am. Let's see what happens once we get up to this high again. Let's see if it has enough juice to actually continue higher, or if this thing is going to reject and finally actually go down. Because it's definitely choppy and weak looking, but I mean, that's either way, up and down. There's just no volume. Nine minutes until initial balance is set. Coming in hot towards those highs again, looking strong. There we go. Some stop losses got crushed on those shorts. It's a trap. The question is, who's getting trapped? Longs or shorts? Or everyone? Right now with this trap, with this chop, everyone's getting trapped. Sellers are not making this thing continue down, so shorts aren't looking good. But we're also not getting good pullbacks for longs. The ranges are just small, sucky. What would it look like if we took a short down to VWAP? Hey, Ram, good morning. Oh, you're flying to the US today. Where are you flying to? What state? Vegas. Is that a work trip or a vacation? Or a little bit of both? Awesome. There's a lot to do in Vegas. Do you like to gamble? Are you going for shows? Are you going just to hang out by the pool? What's your plans? Vegas is a good place to stay for cheap because they're counting on you losing all of your money at the tables. So you can get super cheap hotels and stuff. Everybody's going to Vegas. I feel like I'd have to totally like turn my sleep schedule upside down to survive in Vegas. Like I'm not much of a partier since I've had kids because they all wake up early and I don't want to like stay up late and drink and feel terrible the next day. So I don't do it. I go to bed at 10 o'clock at night and wake up at 5 o'clock. Like that's my schedule. So going to a Vegas schedule where you stay out till like 4 a.m. and sleep till noon. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I'd be able to handle that. I'd be a mess. I would need to take a nap to be able to stay awake past like 11 p.m. All right, Waffles, have a good one. Have a great day. That's what I do, Ram. If I go, I like to play blackjack, but I'll have a specific amount that I'm okay with, like $100 or whatever. And then I just go find the $5 table or the $10 table and play as long as it lasts. $50 is hard unless you're doing slot machines. If you're playing the tables, there's not usually tables less than like $10 or $15 per hand. Penny slots and free drinks. There you go. In Vegas, do they still give you free drinks in Vegas? I haven't been there in a while, a long time, really. I've gone to other casinos like in Oklahoma and what city was I in? I don't even remember. Ochatown, is that how you say it? They didn't have free drinks. You actually had to pay for it. But I think that was because the casino was 18 and up. So I've been to another one in Southern California too. That I think it was 18 and up, so they didn't have free drinks. I'm like, what the heck? That's the whole reason you come to a casino, right? Is the free drinks. Yeah, it looks like it wants to break out. What I'm kind of waiting for at this point, since, I mean, my last trade, my last good setup would have been taking a long off of this bounce right here. And I didn't take that, probably because I would have felt like I was entering based on FOMO a little bit, because I was already in this long and I got stopped out at break even. And by this point, once it bounced, I was a little bit frustrated. Like, dang it, I messed that trade up. So I didn't want to enter on FOMO. So since I missed that one, there's not really been a good setup. Just going to wait and see how the initial balance sets up and see if there's anything we can take off of that. Otherwise, might just have to call it and come back this afternoon after some other levels have been set. We can also take a look at the volume profile, see if there's like a point of control level that we can pull back to or something. Yeah, G-Man, I definitely feel like it's going up. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say I feel like. It is going up. I missed my chance. I don't know if you heard me say it a couple minutes ago. I know you have a busy day at work today, but I was in this long, moved my stop loss to break even. I'm mad about it. And a good re-entry spot would have been this bounce off of VWAP, but I didn't get in. And now it's running without me. If we're given this opportunity, I'm not going to bet on it because I feel like it would kind of be a gift, but point of control is sitting right at the New York anchored VWAP. If it happens to come back there, we could look for a long opportunity. Yeah, Grumpy, thinking back on it, when I was saying earlier I haven't been to Vegas in a long time, I don't think I've been to Vegas since I've been 21. Like, I don't think I've ever been 21 in Vegas. I've gone a couple times with my family as a kid, but I've never been old enough to, like, gamble or anything in Vegas. I've been to other casinos in Louisiana and Oklahoma, Southern California, but I've never done the 21 and up life in Vegas. That's not really my style anyway. Like, I'll drink every once in a while, but I'm not a partier. It takes me too long to recover from it these days. Like, I'm such a healthy person. I eat really healthy. I work out. Like, I feel good. I take care of myself. So when I drink, I feel so sluggish and like bloated and gross for like 5 days. California one, I think it was Coshada. Does that sound right? It was in like Temecula area, Southern California. Hey, B Frosty, how's it going? Are you trading today? Oh, you live in Vegas? Nice. Yeah, Vegas can be fun if you don't drink too. You just have to have a lot of money to spend on shows and stuff. It's not cheap. I mean, the cheap part is like the hotels and stuff and the food, because you can get all you can eat buffets for cheap. But the shows are not, depending on which one you go to, I guess. You don't like large crowds anymore? I can relate to that for sure. I'm not a fan of the large crowds. Because then you have to like find parking and leave 2 hours early because you have to walk a half a mile to get to wherever you're going. Like, yeah, all that just sounds stressful. And I think even times 10 now that I have little kids. Like, I don't do that kind of stuff when I have kids. Because I might lose them in a crowd. And then sitting in traffic the whole time, they're like, why are we in a traffic jam? Are we there yet? It's just 10 times stressful when you have kids in crowds. You have to pay money to park at a casino? I feel like that kind of stuff should be free so that they allow you to come in, because you're going to spend hundreds of dollars on the games and lose all your money. Why do they need to charge you for parking? Oh, living in the country. Nearest neighbor is a mile away. Love it. Yeah, so large crowds are probably not your thing. Hey, Mary Shell, I don't watch the stocks. A lot of these strategies would work on stocks, but no, I'm trading NQ, so it would be futures. Our initial balance is set at this point. Looks like it's breaking out of it so far. See if we get continuation on it or if this thing pulls back. I'd love to see a pullback to this level, somewhere around 860-ish. Not sure how much movement we're going to get, though, unless some sort of news comes out. This might be the max amount of excitement we get for the day. Yeah, this sucks. Definitely just a slow grind up kind of day. Kind of like what I was saying earlier, where like the days where you're not would have been rewarded today just by market ordering in long. That's all right. If you get in those habits, then you're also going to start blowing accounts. Hey, Dean, I do. I stream most days. Pretty much every day, Monday through Friday at the market open at 9:15 Eastern. The only time I don't is if there's like a weird news thing. Like I didn't for FOMC in the morning, but I did that afternoon. Or if I'm like out of town or something. But other than that, I'll be here every day. All right. Initial balance breaking out. Entering along based on the IB high breakout. 15.5 is where I'm entering. See if we get up to that 950 level. All right, Maverick, enjoy your time. Enjoy your trip. I don't want to let this thing pull back too much because if it does start to pull back below the initial balance high, then I'd like to see it come all the way back down here to like this 865 level. And I'm not going to hold on to it that whole time. So I think stop loss, I'm just going to put below this 5-minute candle at 894. Just give it a little bit of room. So it's a small paper cut if I do get stopped out, and I can re-enter if it pulls back lower. Awesome, Clint. Glad you found it helpful. Where did I educate myself? YouTube, honestly. Just watched thousands of YouTube videos. Maybe not thousands of videos, but thousands of hours, I'm sure. Hundreds of videos. I've read a couple of books, but most of the books are on like the mental aspect of trading psychology. I've read one technical book, the VWAP one by Brian, who's, G-Man help me, Brian Shannon. I read the VWAP book, but that's the only one that's based on like strategy. All the other strategy stuff I've learned is from YouTube. I was looking around my office for it, but my book is actually in my room because I was reading through it last night. I still haven't finished that book. I'm like 2/3 of the way through. But it's like a textbook, you know? Like I try to read it before bed sometimes, and if I'm tired, then I last like 2 minutes. So sometimes when I read before bed, it's one of those instances where I like read the same paragraph over and over and I'm not understanding anything because I'm sleeping through it. It's definitely one of those books that you need like a highlighter to read. So on this trade, it's just an IB breakout since we did on the 2 minute. We got some candle closures above. Also the fact that we're just kind of slow grinding up. Not giving it much room to pull back because if I'm wrong, a bigger pullback spot would be that 24,860 level. And then just targeting the VWAP extension or the initial balance extension at 24,950. That's also a level that I know there's quite a few orders at on Bookmap too. So it's hard to find a target when you're at all-time highs. It's kind of just a guessing game at this point. Renzo, I actually don't use the paid subscription with Bookmap. I personally didn't feel like I would be using it enough to validate like paying $50 a month for it. And for me, I think my goal right now is just to simplify things. When there's too many different indicators and strategies and things, it kind of makes me like, oh, but Bookmap says this and my initial balance like volume profile says this. So I don't personally use it a ton. I kind of simple. It is helpful on a day like this though, when it's all-time highs and you're like, I don't know, where's this thing headed? Well, let's see if this slow grind continues up. Do I have a video on how I use VWAP? I know I have a couple on anchored VWAP. Let me look. You know, I don't have any that are like just on how I use VWAP. I have some that show how I use it as confluence. Down here, kind of where my red circle is, we have the 15-minute opening range high, and it's where the anchored VWAP is. That's why I'm saying that was a missed trade, because that was a great area of confluence. 2 levels lined up. So that's usually how I use VWAP, is if there's like confluence with some sort of higher time frame, high volume node and VWAP or something like that. So that's most of my videos include, I took this trade because these 3 things lined up and VWAP is one of them. I don't have anything that's a video just on VWAP. Yeah, Grumpy, that's how I feel about this trade down here at 861. Everything lined up for that. I don't know why I didn't enter. That's okay. This one's working out okay. It's just not as good of an entry. Yeah, Dean, you're welcome. If you want to learn more about my strategy, I do have a playlist set up. It's called My Futures Trading Strategy. And that's kind of everything in there, like initial balance, 15-minute opening range high, how I set up my charts for the weekend, and like find my support and resistance level, session volume profile, all that's in there. And I'm adding to it weekly. I usually add 2 to 3 videos is kind of what I'm averaging on a weekly basis. Some are on more of like the mental side of trading and some are more on strategy. My goal is to add more trade recaps too, because I've gotten some good feedback from you guys that helps, and I'm happy to do it because it helps me too. And kind of recap, like, I shouldn't have taken this trade versus this was a really good trade, so it helps me see the trades better too. So I'll keep adding those. So yeah, check them out. Let me know if it helps. Greetings from Germany. As far as live streaming, typically in the mornings, yeah. New York session. I trade on my own sometimes during the like Tokyo session, but I don't live stream then. You're welcome, Dean. Let me know if you have any questions. I do have a Discord group too, so you're welcome to join that and let me know if you have any questions there. Oh, that's a good deal. So I assume the Thinkorswim platform is free. Like if you just open an account with them, it's free. And then it's $40 a month for Bookmap add-on. Or do you have to pay for the Thinkorswim platform too? Okay. Yeah, that's a good deal. Kind of a little workaround to get $10 off. Your fab? Oh, your fib? Are you talking about your fib? Or what's a fab? You too, Dean. Have a good day. Oh, your fib. Okay. I read that a couple times. I was like, what's a fab? Is that some indicator that I don't know about? This is choppy. Ugly, ugly. Ha, mama, where'd you draw your fib from? Did you draw it from the New York open low at like 24, 8, 16, 8:15? There you go, Ram. With how choppy and slow this market is, $35 is a win. And that probably took you 10 minutes to get that. Oh, all the way down from 24,748. So from like the low of the day. I gotcha. Way down there. That's pretty much in line with what I have for my initial balance extension level at 951. It's nice when everything lines up and there's lots of confluence for a level. The problem though is we don't know when. It doesn't mean it's going to go straight to it right now. It could hit that level at like 3 p.m. and pull back before then. That's always the frustrating part when you're like, I had the idea right, just my timing was off. Well, definitely a slow grind up kind of day. Let's see if it continues and actually hits my target. Is this market putting anyone to sleep yet? Not you? Good. How Mama's alert and ready. Did I read about SK trading system? It works great on the good days. No, I'm not familiar with that. Uh-oh. Today was a bad day for shorts. At least here, if you're trading something else maybe. Gold is probably good for shorts, I would guess. What's gold doing? No, honestly, even gold's not great for shorts. Everything's pumping right now. Getting closer. Yeah, Mama, honestly, I'm debating. Because on my last trade, I did move my stop loss, this one, and it stopped me out at break even and then it continued up. So having it be kind of a slow grind up kind of day, I'm debating. I don't want it to pull back to stop me out and then continue higher again. I could potentially just move it up a little bit to lower my risk, but maybe not move it all the way to break even. So it still has room to come back down to initial balance high and retest it. If it breaks below that, we might be going lower. I'm going to move it up a little bit. Still give it some room to breathe. Possibly come back down and retest IB high. Come on, let's get some movement. Just added a little bit to the position. If it breaks above this anchored VWAP from the high, I'll probably add more and then move my stop loss to this low. Are we going to continue up? If we do ever hit that 950 target, it might take us 3 hours to get there. Might be one of those days where I set it and forget it, set my orders and walk away. And I don't use a ton of indicators. I mean, most of the indicators that I use, I could do manually. Like the initial balance indicator, for example, and the session volume profile indicator. I could do all those by hand. I just use the indicator because it's faster. But I don't use anything fancy that's like gonna tell me buy signals or anything like that. So on TradingView, I have visible range volume profile, which helps find higher time frame support and resistance levels, and then VWAP. Those are the two main ones that I use that are volume based. And then initial balance, trading sessions just shows like the Asia high and low, London high and low, and then session volume profile. I can do all those manually. I just use an indicator. Words are hard. Just to make it quicker. So far, it's rejecting that high of day anchor VWAP. See if it holds initial balance high. I'm going to adjust a little bit to 8.99. The initial balance indicator I use is actually from Chris Drysdale. Let me pull it down. This one, initial balance wave map, and it's from Trader Drysdale. What platform supports all free indicators that you need? Yeah, I'm using TradingView. TradingView actually is free. There is a free version. You just can't have all of these indicators on at the same time. I honestly don't know if there's any platforms that are totally free for like tons of indicators and all that. I'm guessing that most platforms have like a free version, and then when you want to add all the bells and whistles, then there's a fee for it. I could be wrong though. I've never really looked into anything other than TradingView. So someone in the chat might be able to share a better answer if there's a free platform that gives you all the indicators you need for free. One thing you could do is TT, if you sign up with a prop firm, you get a free like prop firm account with them, and then you can link that to TradingView. So that's what I did for a while. Like I got a Tradeify account and I used their Tradeovate or NinjaTrader platform. And then if you link your brokerage account to TradingView, you get the free upgraded version with all the CME data and stuff like that. So that's a workaround if you're using prop firms. All right, so far it's holding initial balance high. Let's see if it can get back above this high volume node right here. So if we can like break above this 728-ish level and kind of retest, I think we'll get some continuation higher. But if we hold below this 920 level, then we'll probably continue lower. That's where the resistance is right now. Not liking the way this is looking right now. some reason my trading view is loading really slow. Shaw, you're taking a short. I don't know. You could be right, but it's still sitting above initial balance high. With the way it's holding IB high, if it holds here and gets back above this anchored VWAP, we could definitely be going higher. Just added a little bit. My risk per trade goal is $200. So sitting at 182 on my stop loss. 15.25 is my average entry at this point. Zooming out to the 15-minute, we definitely did have a solid red candle on the 15-minute chart, but it's holding this fair value gap. See if we can get some volume to return to this thing. Take note, Marvel, you're watching gold. You think gold's about to go up? Let's see. Oh, looks like it wants to break out. My goodness. There is no stopping this gold train. Craziness. Anyone's grandma tell them they should be buying gold or should have bought gold 40 years ago? Huh. All right, we're sitting right at point of control right now. And that's, I mean, this little red dot I was showing you guys. It's kind of where the volume is at this point. So if we can break above this volume and kind of retest it, I think we'll continue higher. But for now, we're chopping around point of control. Does every trader drink coffee? That was a random question. I don't know. I would say a lot of humans drink coffee. I just drink my coffee in the morning, but I don't like drink it all day while I'm trading. I'm actually drinking water. That's what this is. I know some people, some traders who sit at their desk and drink like Celsius and other energy drinks. I don't know how they do that. Sitting at a desk for a couple of hours drinking an energy drink, that just sounds terrible. It's rejecting that high of day, anchored VWAP again. Come on, let's go. Renzo, you're not a caffeine person? No coffee for you? I like it. NASDAQ got you twice. Today has been tough. I've taken two, this is my second trade. The first one, oops, I'm still in draw mode. Let me delete that. My first one, trade was over here. Got stopped out at break even. And then of course it continued up. So re-entered on the initial balance high breakout, but it's just slow and choppy. I've definitely sized down so that I can have more room on my stop loss. Still stuck to that point of control level. If we can like break away from it to the upside, that would be a good sign. For now, it's still chopping right there. 6. You don't know, you just thought drinking coffee was the trader thing to do. Maybe. Coffee's for winners. What is Lucid like? Lucid and TradeDay are my two prop firms that I trade with right now, and they're my favorites. I've traded with a lot of different prop firms. The way I like to, so Lucid has a straight to funded option, which is similar to like Tradeify or similar to most of them. It's 8 days minimum of trading, 20% consistency rule. The way I like to do it is do their test route first. So I do the 50K evals. It's 1 day to pass, as small as 1 day. You don't have to pass in 1 day. It's a $2,000 profit target for their $3,000 profit target for their 50K accounts. As soon as you pass, you can activate your pro account. And on those, it's 5 days of trading, 35% consistency. 5 days green days. So a day of trading counts if you have $150 in profit. So it could be more than 5, but 35% consistency and you can take a payout. And their payouts are super fast. My last payout with them was in my bank account within less than 60 seconds after clicking the request payout button. It was pretty cool. Their customer service is really good too. So those are all the things that are important for me, is like fast payouts, fast customer service, and fair, clear rules. So I don't know if that answers your question, MB, but if you have any other questions, feel free to ask in the chat. I can let you know. G-Man, no, nothing's going on. Came back down to IB high and bounced again. Really, it's just stuck at the session point of control right now. I think if we can break above this high volume node, like get above it and maybe retest 920 and hold it, I could see us getting up to 950. I started off with 4 contracts in this position, but when it came back down to IB high and held it, I added 2 more. So I'm in 6 at this point. And now that we're breaking above this anchored VWAP, I might add 1 more and move my stop loss up. All right, add in 1 more, move my stop up to that low. Is this what you're talking about? Take note, Marvel, you wanted to see my actual trade? There it is. Yeah, this is a live trade. Yeah, G-Man, I'm excited to see you get a payout in your TradeDay account. A little jealous that you're gonna have beat me. I'll be right behind you there, though. I'm close. All right, what does a 5-minute look like? We got a 5-minute closure above that anchored VWAP. Let's see if it holds. We don't have a whole lot of volume supporting any momentum. Come on, NQ. What the heck was that? Some sort of news come out that I missed? What did I miss? That was annoying. Alrighty. That was an interesting wick down. I don't see any news on Financial Juice. Could have just been a low volume, quick little sell-off. Dimitri, I just saw your question. Can you day trade from your phone or do you need computer software? I like Chichamis's answer. Yeah, you can trade from your phone, like especially if you do some of these prop firms that have Project X. Project X is very phone friendly, but I do agree that trading from your phone is hard because usually when you're on your phone, you're distracted. I'm speaking for myself. My trading, when I trade on my phone, is not great. But the reason I'm on my phone is because I'm like multitasking. I'm out and about somewhere, or I'm like making dinner for the kids or whatever. So distracted trading is not good. But yeah, you can trade from your phone. Depending on the software. Project X is very easy on your phone. Trade-Evate or things like that, not so much. I'm not sure about other platforms. All right, you guys. I think that's a good opportunity for me to be done today and close out my account. First one was a break even. Second one was a loss on that random drop down. Looks like maybe I just put my stop loss in the wrong place. I don't know. But it's starting to get choppy and not easy to trade. Well, if you guys haven't already, hit that like button on the way out. I will be live again tomorrow at the New York Open. Would love to have you guys join us again. And then join the Discord too. That way we can share trades that we're taking outside of live stream hours. Have a good one, you guys. Take care.